Episode 13 of my realistic New York Knicks franchise. Giannis won MVP. Ventura Rookie of the Year. Six Man of the Year. Jordan Poole. Averaging 15 a game. Defensive Player Giannis as well. Most Improved Cam Reddish. Coach of the Year. Bud. First team All-NBA. Trae Young, Luka, KD, Giannis, Joker. Second team Joel, Zion, Tatum, Ja, Steph. Third team Brian, Harden, Edwards, Jimmy, and Bam. Defensive team Bam, Clay, Smart, Matisse, Giannis, Drew, Jalen, Jimmy, Kawhi, AD on second team defense. Your rookie teams, rookie first and second teams. Giannis won his third MVP. Second time in his career he won MVP and Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. Led the Bucks this year at over 60 wins. Knicks, we got 50 wins for the first time since the 12-13 year with Melo after bringing in Russell Westbrook this year. In the play-in, you got the Clippers, Lakers, got Bulls, Heat, Cleveland, Detroit, Phoenix, Utah, Chris Paul last season. This year, Lakers beat the Clippers in the play-in to clinch the 7th seed in the playoffs this year. LeBron and AD this season. Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, Fournier. Then Utah beat the Suns, led by Devin Booker. And the Clippers beat the Jazz in the play-in, led by 25 from Paul George. Kawhi Leonard didn't even play. The Clippers, 50 wins, going to be an 8th seed against the Memphis Grizzlies. The Heat beat the Bulls. Playing 31 apiece from Bam and Harold, and the Pistons beat the Cavs. And the Bulls beat the Pistons. And the Bulls also going to be an 8th seed with 50 wins as well. So both conferences was all 7 50-win teams in the West, 8 50-win teams in the East. We got the Sixers in the first round against Joel Embiid with the 4-5 matchup. First round. Westbrook had a good year for us. Julius Randle was an all-star. Cam Reddish, most improved. We're getting ready for game 1 of the first round against the Philadelphia 76ers. We're coming off to a great start this year. It was the last time we made the playoffs was 4-5 match against the Hawks, which we lost in 5. Westbrook had a double-double in the win. Held Joel Embiid to 22 points. Getting ready for game 2 in New York at the Garden. Getting off to a good start in this game. We running away with it. We won 113-91. Game 2. About 41 and 10 rebounds from RJ Barrett. He's been kind of disgruntled with us this season. Despite him having a good season, the team having a good season. Westbrook at 25-13, a close loss. We tied at 2-2. Cam Reddish had 20. Hawks and Nets 2-2 as well. Game 5 back in New York. (132-107) blowout win, led by 41 from Cam Reddish. We got 41 from RJ Barrett and Reddish. We ultimately lost in Game 7 at home by 1 point, 33-10 from Joel Embiid. We won 50 games this year. It made the playoffs. We fell just short of getting out the first round. The Nets beat the Hawks in 7. Celtics swept the Heat after beating the conference finals last year. Bucks beat the Bulls 4-2. Grizzlies and Clippers 7. Dallas Mavericks lost to Golden State in the first round. The Clippers lost in 7. Minnesota beat the Nuggets. Julius Randle averaged 22. Had a better playoff showing this time, despite the loss. Actually played pretty solid. 22 a game, only 6 rebounds though. Got 19 from Reddish. RJ Barrett was 3rd in scoring in the playoff run. Westbrook was 4th. Only shot 42% in the playoffs. held down Joel Embiid to only 23 and 44%. They still got the win against us in the first round. You got the Bucks and the Sixers in the second round. And the Celtics and Nets for the third straight year, they facing off in the playoffs. Memphis and Minnesota got a rematch. You got the Pelicans and Golden State, second round as well. A couple of these series up 2-0 and two tied up at one apiece. Milwaukee won the first two at home. Philly trying to come back from down 0-2 and won game 3. But Minnesota won game 3-2. Golden State goes up 3-1 on the Pelicans. In the conference finals, Memphis and Golden State got 2 game 7s in the Eastern Conference. Philly beat Milwaukee in game 7. And the Nets beat the Celtics in game 7. Jason Tatum only had 10 points and got 37 from Kevin Durant in game 7. The Sixers blew out the Bucks second straight year. They got blew out in the game 7 in the second round. This time against Philly at home too. The Sixers go up 2-1. Sixers up 3-2. In that series, Kevin Durant only had 20, got 37 from Joel Embiid. In the finals, you get the Sixers and the Golden State Warriors. They beat the Sixers in 7. Golden State beat the Grizzlies in 6 games. So you got Kevin Durant going against Steph Curry in the finals. KD been averaging 27 throughout the playoffs. Curry been averaging almost 29 in the playoffs, 23 for Clay, 22 for Kyrie. Now we get in a series that everybody wants to see. You got the Brooklyn Nets against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals. KD, you the bus driver now, everybody's trying to knock him. Now they trying to get a ring against his former team and defending champ. Game 1, Brooklyn won behind KD, 145-140. Game 2, Golden State won behind. Big 36 points from Steph Curry, 29 from Clay, 24 from Poole. Golden State goes up 2-1. 32 from Curry, triple-double for Draymond Green. The Brooklyn Nets tied the series back up at 2 behind, 33 and 10 for KD, 24 from Cam Thomas. Curry had another good game and lost. Golden State goes up 3-2. Clay had 20, lead the way. McElmore at 23, KD only had 16. The Brooklyn Nets tied up 3 apiece going into game 7. KD trying to get his third ring and he gets it, leading Brooklyn to a 7-game series win. He averaged 26 and 10 and 5 assists, won Finals MVP. Kevin Durant led the Brooklyn Nets to the championship. Now we getting ready for the off season. After a long year, we had a solid season, won 50 games. Took the Sixers to game 7 in the first round. Now we're looking to improve our team and take the next step. Win a playoff series, then once you win a playoff series, try to compete for a championship. That's what we're trying to do this season. Coming off a pretty good season we had last year. After missing the playoffs the previous year, they bounced back and win 50 games. And nearly won our first playoff series since the 12-13 season with Melo, who just retired, who was a part of our team this year. Part of our last 251 teams. Andre Iguodala retiring, Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, LaMarcus Aldridge, Al Horford. To hang them up. Rajon Rondo, Kevin Love, C.J. Miles, Danny Green, Taj Gibson. That is last year with us. Danny Green was on the Hawks. P.J. Tucker retiring. Can actually come back another year if he sees fit. P.J. Tucker. We could be targeting him this offseason. He was on the verge of retirement. Losing Melo. Staff retirements. Gennaro Pargo is the only head coach to retire this year from the Pacers. Chris Paul, Dwight Howard, and Carmelo Anthony all getting their jerseys retired, hung in the Raptors after they had their great careers. Chris Paul retired for the Clippers, Dwight for the Magic, Melo for the Nuggets. League meetings for this year, everything was rejected. New CBA. And ready for the draft ladder. Pacers projected at number 1, then the Magic and possibly the Brooklyn Nets. The Thunder get the number 1 pick, followed by the Pacers and the Toronto Raptors. And the staff re-sign period, sign period. We're going to keep our coach, bring in Chief Financial Advisor Anderson. Like everything we got going in the front office with our team, coming off a playoff run. Not a deep one, but a nice one in the first round to build something going in next season, into this off season. And some of these coaching transactions in the off season. The Bulls got Dwayne Casey from the Pistons. Rockets hired McCall, new head coach. Looking at the draft process, Kenneth Lofton Jr. bench pressed the most in the draft workouts. J.J. Sterling hit the most moving threes, spot up threes, like the best shooter in the draft. Looking at potential trades right now, we still got Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and A.J. Griffin. Only players under contract right now. Amari Bailey in this draft. Monty Bates, Jarris Walker, Kyle Flipkowski. That's who we inviting to our pre-draft workouts right now. Scott Clark. Now we getting ready for the NBA draft. We got a pick in the 20s, number 1 pick. OKC Thunder looking to add to their young core. They had drafted Pablo Banchero last year. Number 1, they took Victor Wembanyama, 7'2", out of France. Could be a dangerous piece to add with they already nice looking young team. Number 2 pick, Derek Whitehead to the Pacers, 6'6", out of Duke, wing player. Headed to Indiana. The number 3 pick, Derek Lively to the Toronto Raptors, 7'1" guy out of Duke. 2 of the top 3 players in the draft came out of Duke. Producing high-level talent every season, coming out the ACC. And Scoot Henderson heads to the Washington Wizards, who needed a point guard as far as a superstar level. He gives them that potential. Terry Rozier to the Magic, protected first-round pick. And with this selection, the Hornets take Dylan Mitchell, 6'7" swing man from Texas. Could be a nice young piece to throw with the rest of their roster. Throw with LaMelo Ball, Miles Bridges. Raymond Thompson to the Rockets. Got some offers on the table for our pick. From Grayson Allen, Grizzlies future first round, Duncan Robinson. Shot 43% from 3 last year, had a solid season. Got to take on $18 million now. Dorian Finney-Smith, Buddy Hield, Dennis Schroeder. Right now, like we're about to draft a prospect. Monty Bates still on the board, Chris Livingston, J.J. Starling, Tyrese Hunter. Money Bates got a whole lot of potential at 6'9", getting compared to Kevin Durant at one point. But everybody, he's still on the board right here in the 20s. We can still pick him up with some potential. And so we go with a Money Bates, highly touted at a high school, decorated prospect. Try to possibly move this draft pick, depending on what we can get. They're trying to throw us a lot of veterans, looking at that Suns trade, get their future picks. They got Frankie Collins out of Michigan. Looking at the draft review, about the Thunder make the best decision, getting that center number 1 out of France. And the Thunder could be one of the teams of the future with all the young talent they accumulating yet again. We only gonna keep a Money Bates, a first round pick out of our draft picks. Looking to extend quickly, Grimes. Obi Toppin. Still on a rookie team option. Definitely gonna extend both offers out to Reddish and RJ Barrett are two young wing players. Filling out the wings for us. We'll build a nice duo. We're hoping a championship duo. Could be similar to what the Celtics got with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. One of them develops to a superstar for us. Right now, we're going to throw the offer of Zion Williams. He restricted. But he just talked about much like the Knicks a lot. So even though they probably going to match it, you still got to throw the offer at him just in case he wants to take it. Look at our roster again. Right now, we look like we want to bring back Russ. After what he helped us do last season, getting back into the playoff picture, winning 50 games. Averaging 17, 7 boards, 8 assists. He played solid for us. And he the best guard in free agency in our mind. Besides D'Angelo Russell, but we in our mind, Westbrook better. Ain't better than Mike Conley. Mike Conley solid. Gary Trent, possible shooter we could bring in from the Raptors. If we could fit him under the cap, he'd be a nice shooter. $19 million for 2 years. Russ at 34, still got a lot in the tank. Spencer Dinwiddie, Kemba Walker played solid for some stretches last year, but was inefficient. Reggie Jackson, DeLon Wright, Trey Burke, Isaiah Thomas, Patty Mills, Cam Payne, all still in free agency. But it was the first day of the moratorium. People that's available. Right now we could get Westbrook 1 year, $22.5 million. It's not committing too long. Zion, it's on the offer sheet. Now it's all about it. We know that they're likely to match it. Of course, they did. Pelicans matched the offer we made to Zion, keeping him in New Orleans for at least the next handful of years. LeBron still don't got no serious offers out there yet. or Draymond. Still looking at the landscape, we definitely we're gonna want to bring back RJ Barrett. It's gonna be key. Right now, it's not really no avenue for us to bring in no superstar this offseason. That even makes sense. Besides Zion, we wasn't able to get Zion. That would have been the number one target. And we're not picking Gary Trent over RJ Barrett, even though RJ Barrett had some grumblings and won out. Still rather keep him as long as we can because the value we got can develop. Sign rest of a new 1-year deal, stay in New York. We back down. D'Angelo Russell still don't got no offers on the table. Jordan Poole got a cover. Wiggins. Miles Turner getting a lot of attention in the free agency period. Moses Brown. We see Kevon Looney. He could be a nice pickup to New York. Solid big man presence. Played championship basketball with the Warriors. Got experience. Some rings under his belt. Waiting on RJ Barrett still to see if he's gonna get a big offer. LeBron back to the Lakers, Ja back to the Grizzlies, Garland back to the Cavs. Nuggets kept Joker. Looking at potential swing man, we could bring in KCP. Look like the possible target. Perfect 3-and-D player. We're gonna match that offer with RJ Barrett. Bring him back 4 years, $111 million. Bring in KCP. Gonna play some 2 and 3 for us. We got Westbrook and Quigley at the guard spots. And PJ Tucker, guy that decided to come out of retirement 1 more year. We gonna go a deal with PJ Tucker, bring some toughness to the team. With 5th-time Thibodeau, what we trying to do? Bring in PJ Tucker at the power forward. Bring some grittiness and some 3-point shooting, corner threes, especially. Now the main piece we just waiting on right now is Cam Reddish to bring him back. And potentially another point guard, since we only got 2 point guards on the roster right now. Javon Carter, we got NBA experience, bring him in. We playing a waiting game with Cam Reddish. We signed him with the restricted qualifying offer. Came back 1 year, $6 million. Now some of these transactions. Valuable first team all defense went back to the Sixers on this restricted free agent deal. The Sumo back to the Bulls. And you got Michael Foster to the Clippers. DeAndre Hunter back to the Hawks. David Johnson to the Raptors. Kevin Porter Jr. back to the Rockets. Georges Niang to the Nuggets. Markelle Fultz to the Warriors. Bojan Bogdanovic to the Lakers. Another shooter to play with LeBron and AD. Shake Milton to the Bucks. Derrick Rose and John Wall to the T-Wolves. D'Angelo Russell signs on a 1 year, $5 million deal to play with the Celtics. That's probably the biggest move of the offseason. Celtics bringing in a true point guard. Now could bring Marcus Smart off the bench. Have D'Angelo Russell in that first 5. Lost in 7 last year to the Knicks. Kelly Oubre to the Thunder. Kendrick Nunn to the Rockets. Josh Hart to the Thunder. Miles Turner to the Pistons. Dylan Brooks to the Trailblazers. Kyle Anderson to the Sixers. A lot of transactions in the offseason. D'Angelo Russell, that's a big pickup for the Celtics. Almost averaged 19.7 assists. They added a legit third scorer and legit point guard to the championship level type team already. Brad Beal, despite the bad year, averaging 25, so he content in Washington right now. Damian Lillard appears to be content in Portland as well. Now we're looking at the player progression period. And Cam Reddish looks like he's taking a big leap this year. After winning most improved player, averaging 18 points a game last season. Looks like he's ready to take the next step into potential all-star status. Emmanuel Quickly, Mitchell Robinson, Obi Toppin, Westbrook still pretty much the same player, took a little step back. Still gonna be the starting point guard for us. LeBron declined slightly. Kyrie, slight decline. Porter got a lot better. Zion got better. Cunningham and Sadiq. Green got better. Gilgeous-Alexander got better. Dame regressed slightly. Steph regressed slightly. Lonzo improved. Tatum improved. Ja Morant and Trae Young improved. LaMelo Ball and Donovan Mitchell improved. The Hornets got Kristaps Porzingis. De'Aaron Fox improved. Getting ready for the summer league period. We don't got nobody in summer besides Amani Bates. Young guy, he hurt for the summer league now. We don't got any true young guys we're gonna bring. That's gonna be probably key pieces at this point. Victor Wembanyama led the Thunder to the Summer League Championship. All-Star game gonna be in Phoenix, Arizona this year. U.S. versus the World High School game coming up. Andy Hayward led the way, and Walker definitely led the way for the world. Now we getting set for this regular season. Trying to get to deeper in the playoffs this year after losing the first round. Make some improvements to the roster. Adding P.J. Tucker, some toughness to the team. Bringing Westbrook back. Cam Reddish getting better. RJ and Julius Randle coming back after Julius Randle made a second All-Star team last year. Now we're getting ready for this season.